Okay, now we're going to work on the Gdax export from Coinbase. This is not the ones you can download per account from Gdax. This is the total trade history straight from Coinbase, and I believe it's the best report. I copied a row from below to row 1, which I'll show you where that was. And then I went to View, and I froze the top so that I can keep this important row up top. So the first set of data are all the transfers in or out of Coinbase and Gdax. Then it has the account summary totals, which we don't need any of this. And then we get below, and this is where that title I put up top is, so that you can see the titles as I scroll through the history. And that makes it really easy to read. Now you will note that I've gone ahead and deleted anything that was a transfer, deposit, or withdrawal, because that's just not going to be useful for our purposes. Now typically they are putting the fee in between the trade pair. So you can see this is a single trade right here. Now if you use a limit order, there is no fee, so that's something to keep in mind. So here's one trade. Here's another trade. Here's another trade. Here's another trade. So you can see the kind of combination to create each of these trades. Now primarily what we're seeing is a lot of trading between Bitcoin and USDT in this particular history. Now we do have one Bitcoin Cash trade right here, an Ethereum trade, a rebate, another Ethereum trade, two more Ethereum trades, and that looks like that's about all he's done in this account, so this won't be too hard to fill out. So as I get each trade, I'll mark it bold. Okay, so I've just kind of lined this up nicely. We are actually working on this trade right here, so let's focus on that. Pull this lower. Go to our spreadsheet, USDT selling, pull up this spreadsheet again, and now I can work on a single screen and pretty easily enter these trades. Location, Gdax. Okay, now I can start grabbing some numbers. Let's grab the fee first, that's easy. Now in our accounting, it is going to be a positive number, not negative, so we can just grab the part of it we need. This one was 0. Okay, this was the cost and the number of coins sold. Now if you accidentally do something like what I just did, just hit enter and then hit Control Z to undo it. So now I'm going to come up here, I'm going to highlight all but the negative part. Okay, coins sold. The cost was $1 per coin. In terms of value, I can place that there. The amount of Bitcoin purchased is this. Paste that in. And for the price paid, we just hit equals, select the sale value, divide by coins bought. And for the date, I can grab this date right here, 12/1/2017. To keep the formatting the same, I'll just enter it like that, and voila, now we can go to the next trade. Okay, this was a very similar trade and actually purchased on the same date. If I wanted to, I could combine these into a single trade. So I'll just start with the date. That's the same, 12/1/2017. Go ahead and grab that fee. Grab the amount of Bitcoin purchased. Grab the cost and the amount of coins sold. equals, select that, divide by, boom. So now I'll highlight that as complete. Okay, here's our next trade, which I have highlighted, and this is now on the second. You can see it's two trades that could probably be summarized together, but you'll see this is a little different accounting than the last one. So let's just say for fun we wanted to combine these two trades. What I'll do is I'll come over here and just make a quick little note, and I need to record the three things: the cost, the fee, and the coins bought. Okay, so the cost is going to be equal to the sum parentheses. I'm going to hit the control button so I can grab two costs. So I'm going to grab this cost and this cost. The fee is going to equal sum parentheses, and I can go select the two fees. And the coins bought equals sum, and I can grab these two amounts of Bitcoin purchased. And if I want to record the date, I could put it over here in my notes. 12/2/2017. And again, I'll come up to the spreadsheet and start to enter the trade. 12/2/2017. Copy. Now because it's a formula, it's not letting me select just the part I want, but that's not a problem. I'll come up here, paste. Now I can delete that negative. Come up here and paste, delete the negative. Commission. Delete the negative. Coins bought. And now once you get Gdax done, they're really the biggest pain in the butt. The rest of the exchanges report this in a manner that almost all of this data is auto-calculated for you. Okay, so now we've gotten one more trade completed. Now here's another little trick for you. You may want to spend a little time going to the top of each trade and hit insert to enter a new line. This way you can easily see where a trade starts and stops. And so now I can easily see I have one trade here and I have a second trade right here. Now I just spotted out right here, I forgot to delete that data. Transfers don't go into this accounting. And now we don't need all this blank space right here, so I can also use the shift button to highlight all these and delete. And once you do this one time, it's much easier to keep this updated as you go. Now I do want to point out that on the Bitcoin pairs, the fee was in the middle of the trade. However, once we got down to the Bitcoin Cash and the Ethereum trading, note that they did place the fee at the top of the trade. And I'd also like to point out that on these two trades there were no fees. So that would be a limit order where you don't pay fees because you are the maker of the trade. So in our tutorials in the membership area, we do cover how to use limit orders to be the maker of an order rather than the taker, and then you can save a little money on commission costs. And typically the way that works is you predict a price that hasn't occurred yet, the price moves to that, and then you get filled. So you're helping create a liquidity at multiple prices for the exchange, and they value that and give you an incentive to do that type of trade. Whereas if you just get marked at the current market, you pay the commission cost. So at this point you can see there are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total trades to input. They are all paired against the USD tether, and so they're all the exact same formula. The only difference would be finding Ethereum for certain trades and then finding the Bitcoin Cash for the one trade. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, enter all these trades, and then we'll review it, and then we'll move on to the next step, which will be entering all the trades he's done in his Poloniex, Binance, Nano Ledger S, and other exchange accounts. And actually, to save even more time, I'm going to take this entire block of Bitcoin trades, which were all selling USDT to buy Bitcoin, and turn them into one single entry, like we did up above. So you can save yourself a ton of time by doing that. So I'll just write equals sum parentheses, and now I can just go hold control and select each trade. Okay, and that's into that, so I'll hit enter. Now the fee equals sum parentheses. And I am holding control to select all of those. And I can hit enter. And now the total. Holding control while I select each of these. Now to scroll, I could either go to this bar right here. It's just important that whenever you click a button, you hold the control button down. So I can use my middle roll bar of my mouse to move this up and down. And I'm not holding the control button while I do that. Otherwise it will change the screen font, and actually the control button doesn't work while it's selected. So if I take the control button off, it'll let me go up and down, but if I hold it down, it won't move. So I can select these inputs, and the most recent date is 1/24/2018. But I'm going to give myself a note that it's purchases from 12/20/2017 through 1/24/2017. So that'll be one single entry that covers this entire block of trades. So you can see how that's a huge time saver. Okay. And then 4 other trades, which are Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I'll enter these each one by one, paused on the movie, and then update it as soon as these are all complete. Okay, so here's this trade entered. Sold $299 worth of USDT, commission cost of 89 cents. We bought 0.25924 Bitcoin Cash, then we hit equals sum. Click this, hit divide, click this, and it gave us our price. And now I just need to insert the date. And this trade is good to go. Marked it bold, going to the next. And do note again that they've reordered it, so we're still using these 3 inputs for the commission cost, amount of USD sold, amount of Bitcoin Cash purchased. Now I do see a group of Ethereum trades I can group together, so I'm going to move this Bitcoin to be below, delete these, and now you can see I have a good group of Ethereum trades I can convert into a single trade. So I move these titles down, and I'm going to select the costs. Now I'll grab the fees. Not all of these trades had fees. And now I can grab the coins bought. Okay, so I've got the full trade entered now, and you can see I put a note that this represents a group of trades through 2/3/2018. The most recent was 3/20. Then I'll know the range to go back and look at this later if I want to. When it comes to selling these Ethereum later, we'll be using the first in, first out accounting method, trying to hold for a year to reduce taxes. So now there's only one trade left, which we actually got the rebate because we did a limit order of 15 cents. Now let's just be a little fancy. Let's say we wanted to add this trade to this trade. So now I'm going to say my recent order is up to the date of this last trade, which is 2/26/2018. So all I'm going to do is just go ahead and add the purchase cost of this trade right here, then add it to here, and now I just need to add the new amount of coins purchased, which was 1.112. So I'll just throw an equal sign on the top of this and add the new coins, and we're good. So now we have all of our Gdax trades successfully entered, and it's time to move on to the rest of our portfolio. So as soon as we get the rest of the trades inputted, we'll be able to go run a little portfolio builder trigger update, and it'll tell us what to buy, what to sell to fill the rest of the portfolio. So see you on the next video.